Welcome, my friends. If you follow this channel or read any sort of business or technology news, you already know that Elon Musk laid off 50% of Twitter employees. And now, we are hearing that many of the laid-off Twitter employees might have to actually leave the United States. That is because they are relying on the company to sponsor their work visas. Now, Twitter has left them in limbo. And they are finding themselves at the whims of you-know-who. None other than Twitter's new billionaire owner, Elon Musk. These workers know that if they quit, they may have to leave the United States. This past week, Elon Musk gave the remaining staff a high-stakes ultimatum. Either to commit to working hardcore, long hours at high intensity or to leave. But some workers who would like to leave the company feel like they can't. That is because doing so may leave them no choice but to depart the United States. If you recall, Elon Musk telegraphed layoffs even before the deal to buy Twitter was finalized. Elon Musk said that he would lay off 75% of the employees. Then, when he met with Twitter employees on the day before the deal was closed, he walked that promise back. Then, Musk closed the deal, at the astronomical price of $44 billion, as you know. And, then he brought in his trusted team of software engineers to review the code. The verdict: the layoff is not 75%, it is only 50%. I think that this will be the shot heard round the tech world. No other tech company of any size is laying off 50%. Some observers think that it was a deliberate plan to push more Twitter employees out. Musk was warned against cutting more than 50% of staff. Even though Elon Musk laid off half of Twitter's, he really planned to cut more than half. So, what does all of this mean for Twitter? What does it mean for social media companies? What does it mean for big tech companies? What does it mean for the economy? And, what does it mean for the future of the United States? But, before we get into all of that, please press the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Many H-1B workers sponsored by big tech firms. For those of you not familiar with H-1B, it is a special kind of work visa offered by the United States government. Under an H-1B visa, people from other countries can live in the United States under the sponsorship of their employer. An H-1B is a temporary visa that allows companies to hire foreign professionals to perform services in a specialty occupation, according to the United States government. The United States allows only 65,000 H-1B workers per year. H-1B visa holders can legally stay in the country from 3 to 6 years. If they lose their job, they have 60 days to find a new job if they want to remain in the United States. Otherwise, they are required to return home. Big tech companies rely heavily on the H-1B program to find and hire engineering talent. Employees come from around the world. This enables U.S. tech companies to maintain a competitive edge in a fast-moving industry. The H-1B program applies to employers seeking to hire non-immigrant aliens. It normally applies to workers in specialty occupations, such as engineers, software developers, or even as highly specialized fashion models. But, H-1B visa holders must have distinguished merit and ability. How long is H-1B visa valid? Well, the initial period of stay for those in H-1B status is 3 years. And that can be extended for up to an additional 3 years thereafter, for a total of 6 years. H-1B visa holders may apply to have their status upgraded to a green card. A green card is another term for permanent residency status in the United States. But, H-1B status extends far beyond Twitter. Major tech firms are now laying off employees by the thousand. Amazon cut 10,000 employees. Lyft laid off 700 people, or 13% of its workforce. Meta also laid off 13% of its employees, which amounts to 11,000 jobs. Twitter, as you know, cut 50% or 3,500 employees. Salesforce has cut 2,000 employees in multiple rounds of layoffs. And Stripe, if you can believe it, sponsored at least 45,000 H-1B workers over the past 3 years. According to U.S. data, Meta and Twitter's layoffs affected approximately 350 immigrants. Layoffs are sweeping tech firms across the United States. Workers who entered the country on the H-1B program are now facing uncertainty. Many of these laid-off workers have real-world things to worry about: children, mortgages, student loans, and other bills and commitments. Not to mention the looming 60-day deadline for finding a new job in a highly competitive market. Prior to Elon Musk's layoffs, Twitter employed around 700 H-1B employees. Many H-1B workers are staying on at Twitter despite Elon Musk's hardcore work ultimatum. That is because they do not want to be forced into a flooded job market. They might not be able to find a job. And they would be forced out of the country. You have to spend months preparing for some of these jobs, one employee said on condition of anonymity. It's hard to tell yourself that even after 15 years being properly documented you still might not have a way to stay, the employee said. The path to residency is broken, he continued. Elon Musk has a vision for Twitter 2.0. And he told all employees that they would need to be extremely hardcore. He required all employees to work long hours at high intensity if they were to keep their jobs. Employees were required to commit by the close of the business day on Thursday, November 17th. If not, they would be fired and given 3 months of severance pay. To his surprise, only a small number of people committed to Twitter 2.0. Far less than Musk and his team had expected to commit. For example, only one person in Twitter's core services group committed to stay. The core services group is responsible for user services and serving tweets. So, managers were asked to write lists of critical employees who were likely to leave. Musk himself called some of them to persuade them to stay on. Musk also slightly softened stance on remote work. Initially, Musk said that employees were required to return to the office or be fired. Some were even offered raises of up to $100,000 per year to stay on. In the end, around 2,700 employees chose to stay on. Even some staff who committed to hardcore work were laid off. The mass layoffs Twitter employees have now basically been fully implemented. But Twitter has not been profitable and needs to cut costs. And frankly, it has had too many layers of management and executives were basically paid too much. Those who get to keep their jobs probably cannot work from home again. Employees are required to work in the Twitter office, with maybe a few exceptions. Twitter employees had been worried about changes that Musk might bring. Now, it seems that their intuition was right and they had every right to be nervous. Was this some kind of alternative venture-backed reality? Well, actually, it was for a while. But we all now know how long a while. And I think that we need to prepare ourselves for this to happen at other tech companies. Musk is clearly ordering a mass layoff to save money because Twitter is burning cash. Musk is also implementing monumental changes for Twitter to earn money. For example, the price of Twitter Blue is being raised to $8 a month from $3 per month. The new pricing could go into effect soon. The subscription will also be a necessary requirement for Blue verification badges from now on. Elon Musk's moves are going to set a new benchmark for tech companies. This is especially true of social media companies. Musk is making very bold moves as he usually does. But frankly, there are a lot of tech companies that are not profitable. But I think that the day of reckoning has finally come. And Silicon Valley needs to get real. This is a necessary step and I think that it will become the standard for unprofitable tech unicorns. And, if you follow this channel, you probably already know that tech companies are sensing weak macroeconomic conditions. Inflation is raging in most parts of the world. Central banks are aggressively raising interest rates in order to tame inflation. Consumers' budgets are getting tighter because of having to spend more on gas and food. So, consumer discretionary spending is weakening. Corporate marketers are cutting their ad budgets, especially online. And ad revenue is the lifeblood of many big tech companies. Google and Meta platforms reported decidedly disappointing Q3 earnings. Not surprisingly, both companies revised or revoked forward guidance. Meta has posted shrinking revenue for 2 quarters and maybe a third quarter as well. This year, it is clear that Wall Street analysts are valuing profitability over prospective growth. As a result, unprofitable tech companies' shares are getting punished. It seems that the day of reckoning for tech unicorns has arrived. And all companies are forced to either be profitable, find a merge partner, or die. The window for initial public offerings is effectively closed. That is why some Wall Street investment bankers are predicting a wave of tech mergers later this year. But, what do you think? Please leave us a comment below and hit the like button. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.